We are finally about to get to see the much anticipated movie Marshall. The film makes its Buffalo debut this weekend at the North Park Theater as part of the Buffalo International Film Festival. The movie tells the story of Thurgood Marshall, our country's first African-American Supreme Court justice. You'll remember a lot of the scenes in this movie were filmed right around here, showing off our beautiful architecture and with hundreds of Western New Yorkers as extras. But as photojournalist Julie O'Rourke shows us now, some of that local talent came with 4 tires.
In a small valley just south of town lives a green and yellow cab and her friend, the maroon Dodge. Reads like a movie, doesn't it? But for Christopher Georger, these old cars are more than a movie. They're an important part of his life.
It's part of me. It's been my car since the beginning. I've driven it all over through college. After college, drove my first daughter home from the hospital in this car. And ever since, it's been licensed and registered and driven every year.
Rolling! Rolling! So last year, when production of the Marshall movie came to Western New York, Christopher Georger's daughter said,
she said, "Yo, they're doing casting for a movie. Why don't you get in there?"
After all, he had done it before.
The Natural, they gave me a nice plaque for it. They had a shot inside the restaurant and they needed some fill outside of cars going back and forth. And I believe I'm the 3rd set of headlights.
Now, 34 years later, the folks making the Marshall movie needed a bunch of old cars.
I thought this one would be the best one because with that taxi sign, it looks really authentic.
And although this car was never really a cab, Christopher Georger knew he had the cars that they would be looking for.
They're not Cadillacs or Rolls Royces or convertibles. They are Chryslers and Dodges in a standard body style. So they're more like the cars that were driven around the streets every day. So that's why they tend to make it.
Sure enough, there was Christopher in his 2 cars on set last summer for scenes shot outside City Hall.
They even had me stay around because they wanted to record the sound of my exhaust pipe, because it was authentic.
And while he's not sure his cars made it in the final cut, he'll be watching.
And I will certainly look at it meticulously and try to find it. There it is! There it was!
Regardless, the best part for Christopher Georger is that he gets to keep driving these sweet old rides, and he'll be ready if Hollywood calls again. Just south of town, Julie O'Rourke, Channel 2 News.